I'm Jean-Luc Yannick, and I kind of run the Tradici Toolbox, as I'm sure you're all familiar with the Tradici Toolbox. And so an important component of all this is linking up the project that you started making this morning on D2S with a Tradici Toolbox trial. And so we're gonna set up a Tradici Toolbox trial. We're gonna set it up on the sandbox. So I think Shannon or I sent you this URL, but wheat-sandbox.tradicitoolbox.org. And yeah, so actually you don't need to do the breeder's search thing yet. Or actually, okay, so that if you this shouldn't take long, so let's just make sure that everybody's with us. Raise your hand if you're not yet at wheat-sandbox.tradicitoolbox.org. But yeah, go ahead and get yourself there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, is that good enough? Yeah, I know, it's a bummer. The URL doesn't get bigger. I mean, and we're not, okay, so I'll just send this over to the Slack. But yeah, it was in the email. Everybody's seen Shannon's little badge. It says, "I read your email." It's a good idea. Thank you, Shannon.
Quick question. So this sandbox account is not synced with WheatCAP.
So the way the sandbox works is periodically, weekly maybe, and right, it's not synced with WheatCAP. It's synced with Wheat. So okay. So just real quick. Wheat is publicly available. Everything on wheat.tradicitoolbox.org is publicly available. It's not password protected. There's a WheatCAP.tradicitoolbox.org. You have to be a user with a password to get onto that. The agreement that we said to NIFA when we got the grant was that we're going to deposit from the project, deposit everything to WheatCAP. And then 2 years after something is deposited, it will get moved over to the public side. So stuff that's on WheatCAP that is 2 years old or more is on the public side, Wheat. And then Wheat itself is synced weekly or so with Sandbox. That is, the Sandbox gets wiped clean, and everything that's on Wheat gets put onto the Sandbox. Hope that makes sense. But so that's the reason why when we had you upload these 2025 trials from Amarillo, there were some accessions that exist only on WheatCAP, not yet on Wheat, that were not there on the Sandbox. Okay. So the first thing that I wanted to do here was, so now I'm on the Sandbox, and I'm gonna just look at who all has already uploaded a trial. So this is the wizard. If you're not familiar with the wizard, it's my favorite feature of the Tradici Toolbox. In this column, I select trials, and then I can search for TXE_2025. What does TXE stand for? Texas Elite. Okay, so a bunch of you, and thank you, have already uploaded a trial. So that's great, and we'll get back to that. For those of you who haven't, you're gonna need okay, you're going to need this. Okay, so this is on Slack, trial layout, TXE 2025 irrigated your name, that file. Put it somewhere where you'll be able to find it.
Did anyone not receive
All right, good deal. So to load a trial, you go over to Manage, Field Trials. And okay, so you form, just to let you know what the screen is, these are all the different breeding programs that have some trials on Tradici Toolbox. You're going to upload an existing trial. It's also possible to design a trial from scratch along with the randomization. We're not going to do that. This workflow is a little bit overkill at this point. In principle, it allows you to check out a number of things if you're using seed from seed lots and so on to make the trial. What I just did, what happened? Oh, I closed it. Okay. We're going to go to the next step, and that file that was sent to you in the email or over Slack is what we need. It's in this multiple trial spreadsheet format, even though it only has one trial. I'm going to choose the trial. So now, of course, I have to remember where I put it. I have it under teaching. Okay, so you have to navigate your file system to where you have it. Now, okay, so I'm out of order, of course. Before you do that, I just want to make sure that everybody modifies that template to make sure that that you're creating your own unique trial. Let's see, is this going to make this bigger? No. Okay, so I changed it. So this is the file that you all received. Trial layout TXE 2025, your name. I changed it to my name. And my name is Jean-Luc. So before I changed it to Jean-Luc, it said your name over here in column A. So you just want to replace, your name with your name, and then propagate it down the whole column. Yeah, I mean, basically, if you change this name to something different than this, just keep track of what you change it to. You're going to need to find it, okay? A nice, easy way of finding things right now is TXE 2025. So, okay, so this is the file now. I have it as trial layout, my name, and here's my name. So that's what I'm going to look for when I get to uploading an existing trial. So I've chosen the file. I'm going to upload it. So something super, super important that the Tradici Toolbox does is it makes sure that there aren't several versions of a particular accession that have slightly different names, right? Sometimes people put in a name with a space, sometimes people put in a name with an understroke, sometimes people put in a name with a dash. If they're all the same accession, but they're under different names, then all of a sudden you can't aggregate data for that accession across all of the instances where it was evaluated, and you're basically wasting effort. Okay, don't know what happened. Well, okay, so let me know who all in the room is actually trying to do this right now. And yeah, is it working? If it's not working, it's probably, okay, so Jinhai, he has a state-of-the-art GPU server at Purdue. We don't have this for the sandbox. So it might be straining a little bit. Anyway, what I was about to say here is this part that's happening right now is it's the Trinity Toolbox making sure that, or in theory, making sure that I'm just going to continue and see what happened. Oh, okay. Making sure that there aren't several versions of the same accession under slightly different names. So it's doing a search across the database of all of the accessions that you're trying to upload and identifying ones if there are small punctuation changes, if there are capitalization changes, lowercase, uppercase, that kind of thing. Okay, so even though it gave an error, I think it did do the synonym search in the background. It's giving you a warning that TAM 114 was listed in, I think it was listed in this way in the file, but in the database it's listed in this way. And so it's going to save this name as this name. So now I'm just gonna see if it uploaded, and I'll have to explain a little bit more about this wizard before we get too far down the road. Okay. Are there? So it doesn't look to me like the Jean-Luc version showed up.
I did mine and
It's not showing up either.
Mine was uploaded.
Yours uploaded? Okay. Maybe one at a time. I mean, it should be able to upload more than one at a time. I mean, but it's one. Yeah, go ahead.
I guess you just need to ignore warnings or something like that. There's a button there. Then re-upload it. I think that's what I did once I tried.
Okay.
I got some new ones.
Yeah, are some new ones coming in?
We're up to 9.
Okay. This is where if you are not a federal employee, you are allowed to lobby your government, and you should tell them that they should allocate some money for a new server for the Trinity Toolbox. Yeah. Shannon was just describing what happens when you're uploading some new accessions to T3. Basically, it will propose a number of possible matches to you if it identifies possible matches, and it will ask you which, if there is a match, which it is, or if you want to create a new accession on the basis of the name that is slightly different from a name that exists on T3.
So anyone who might have put TAM 114 into T3 prior to our actual involvement in this project
Yeah.
that we use the formatting of, uppercase and with spaces, and we had some reselections in there, so I was thinking they were synonyms.
Shannon, if you come across stuff like that, and this is true generally, okay, so if you come across instances where you know that there's some problem here, like you would like to change the way the database lists that accession, just contact us and we can make the change easily. Another type of thing that happens is that an accession, a breeding line, will have an experimental name for a few years as it's going through testing, and then it may get released as a variety. And that's often a time when we lose the connection between the name of it released as a variety versus the name. Okay, I think so now this is working for me. Okay, so interesting. For whatever reason, it's showing me this instance where somewhere somebody loaded this Texas 17 accession with a dash and then a space after the dash, whereas for the most part in the database it does not have a dash. So it's asking you whether you want this to match this or not, and essentially we're going to have to go through and change these ones with spaces over to this other thing. Here it's very unfortunate. There are some accessions that just have like 3 digits and they show up as possible matches for lots and lots of different uploads. But so in these cases, it's just gone through this search and identified cases where maybe what you're trying to upload is something different than it thinks it is, and it wants to make sure that you're given the chance to tell it exactly what you want. Okay.
And I went through that list on Friday morning and made sure that they matched.
Okay.
What was in the trial, actually.
Okay. So it says it was successful, and I'm not sure what it's working at right now, but I can close. It's not going to let me close until it's done doing whatever. Okay, now with a bit of luck, when I go over to the search wizard, the one that the version of the trial that says Jean-Luc will be there. Yes, there it is. Okay. So in principle, the cool thing about this wizard, so maybe raise your hand if you have not used the wizard before, which is, okay. Good. I'm just going to explain it a little bit, and some possible complications to it. So at this point, I've identified all of the trials that have TXC 2025 in their name, and now I'm gonna select my own trial, and now I'm gonna ask myself, and I'm about to do something that I think is not going to work, but that will illustrate the workings of this wizard. Let's say I wanted to know what the accessions were in this trial, right? I would go over to the next column and say accessions, and in principle, it should tell me the accessions that are there. Right now, it's giving me 0, 0. It's thinking that the information that it has available is that there aren't any accessions in here. If I take a trial that was here earlier, so I know Tim, dang. All right, that didn't work either. Okay. Okay. Well, all right. So let me. I'm going to. This is not going to matter for the following. Whoops. for the workshop, but I just want to illustrate how this works. And so I'm not sure exactly what this 2017 WheatCAP trial is. Okay. I'm glad Jinha's software is giving, you know, sort of stronger results than this at the moment. Okay. I'm somewhat skeptical of this. It's saying, but anyway, so it's identifying some accessions that are in a particular trial, and that's the way we would want this to work. Okay, so it looks like the wizard is not doing its thing right now, which is a bummer because it's a great feature. Okay, so what it should be doing is yeah. No, I think what goes on. Okay, so let me explain to you how it works. It when you've selected some instances of a particular thing, like trials or genotyping protocols or projects, it has a table that says, okay, what are the accessions that are in each of the genotyping projects, and that table is optimized for speed on this wizard. That means, in turn, that when you upload a new trial, it has to remake that table because the new trial has to go into that table that's optimized for speed. Where it's being challenged right now is it's remaking this table multiple times because multiple new trials just got uploaded. And so it's flummoxed. So maybe towards the end of the workshop, I think it takes about 5 minutes or so, 5-10 minutes to remake the table. So by the end of the workshop, it should have calmed down. And we'll see it at work. Okay, so in the meanwhile, I'm going to go back to my trial. Excuse me. So there are two ways of selecting the trial. I can do plus, which puts it in the column, or I can just hit the sort of brown part of it, and that shows me the trial detail page. Okay. So here's the trial detail page. There are 40 accessions in this trial. It's in the Texas A&M folder because I don't know if you looked at the spreadsheet, but it actually lists Texas A&M as the breeding program that the trial is part of, and it was uploaded today. And what's going to interest us here is linking this trial up to your D2S project, right? So when you get to the trial detail page, raise your hand if you are not at the trial detail page for the trial with your name. Okay, cool. On this trial detail page, there should be in the bottom left corner of this first pane a data to science icon, and it should tell you that there aren't any linked D2S projects with this trial, okay? And the first thing that you're going to want to do is, everybody has a D2S account at this point, right? So you're going to want to update your D2S API key, or if it may have just say to add your, I mean, for me it says updating it because I have one that exists already. For you it may say put in your D2S trial. So if you hit that button, you should get to this screen, and it says to go to your D2S profile. So I'm going to click on that. For me, in my cookies, I suppose it already has, you know, my username and password for D2S. For you, you may need to enter that. And on your profile, it has your API key, and you can copy that, right?
For those of you who doesn't have an API key, if you just create an account, that's going gonna be about to revoke API key, that will be then the general API key. So you have to click that to generate your own API.
All right. So, no, that's awesome. Yeah, go for it.
So this API key is almost key to your account. So if someone else has a copy of this API key, it means that that person can access it. So if you believe that for some reason this API key has been compromised, you just click this in the revoke API key, that will clear up and regenerate it, and then they will generate something new. Please make sure that, this is in your presentation, you just make this available somebody to control it. They can just access use. Try to not to share this in the code with someone else, but for some reason you need someone else to copy, log in and then revoke it and then click it.
Especially if you've given your bank details to D2S. Okay. So once you've copied your API key, you should be able to go back to this page and put it in there. Okay, and so and then hopefully, I'm not quite sure what it said to you before, but at this point, here maybe you might have to refresh the page.
We are not there yet. That's going to be the part that I'm going to talk about later.
Oh, okay, so do you want me to show them how to link, or
Let me cover that because I want to do this as kind of last part.
Okay. I'll just say that to track when you're on the D2S side, to link it back to your particular trial, you either want to remember this name or copy it somewhere, or you want this number here. So like for me, my trial ID is 10227. And each of you, since you have a unique trial, you should have a unique trial ID number. And so that's what's going to enable D2S to go back to T3 and find this.
Can you show the Cornell example for the WheatCAP where how it's going to look like once T3
Sure. Maybe. Okay, so now I'm on the WheatCAP side. Let me see. Actually, Tim, you might have to tell me what name to use here. Well, okay, so 2024, you've got stuff for that one, yeah. Okay, well, let's see what this looks like. So this is stuff that Tim has put in. Okay, so I don't know, you haven't connected this to D2S yet? All right, let's see if we can do, well, so.
I think it's 2022.
Bam. Okay, I didn't realize that it was going to be able to do that all on its own. But this is actually correct. So, okay, one way or another, I guess T3. So D2S has a good application program interface, needless to say, and T3 was able to figure out that this trial was actually connected. Oh, it's probably connected on Tim's account, but not yet on my account. Anyway, here it is. Is this what you wanted?
But
Oh, yeah, of course. Um, well, okay, so this is physically what the field layout looks like, and then uh-oh. Well, I'm sorry, Janai. So okay. So this might not have been. Have you already set up all the plots for this, Tim? Maybe that's the issue.
But I think the key idea here is that you have all the drawn imagery on D2S, and before you can only see this rectangular grid layout, but you can actually pull the ultimate images from D2S to be displayed directly with the grid. Later we're going to do the plot boundary delineation as well, so we can show you where all those plots are located. Basically, we can link this T3 and the T2S together so that we are not duplicating information from T3 can be pulled to D2S, and the T3 can pull information from D2S to T3. The 2022
Oh, okay.
I think it was a Cornell trial, like the David trial. Oh, they have a
So now I'm onto the 2022 from Amarillo. Fingers crossed that we have this one properly set up. Okay, so it says it's loading the plots. Okay. Oh yeah. So what's in the background right now is just some Google satellite image, and then these are the actual images from the ortho.
So the images that you see in the background is coming from D2S, actual the plot analysis. So we will actually replicate exactly using our product and actual T2 trend.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I'm pretty psyched about it. Like, okay, so D2S is actually connected to T3 to such an extent that you can look at what germplasm is present in each plot as you mouse over the plots. Well, I think that's. I mean, yeah, I think that's it for me.
Any questions?
And also just want to make sure that on the sandbox side, was everybody able to get their trial up there? Or raise your hand. I mean, raise your hand if you were not able to get it up there. But okay, so we have at this point we have 15 trials that are unique with the Texas Elite 2025. So that must be most people.
Yep. I think we have
How would you go ahead and link the E2S project
To the T3 trial.
I'm going to cover it.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be the last item in the agenda. Because I like to, I don't want to link this to T2 yet because we have still a lot of steps that we have to do and have to show everything that
But the linking is super easy. I mean, just once if you have your exact name, Adriano TXE yada yada, or you have the trial number, in this case 10218, super easy to link. Okay, we're good then.
Okay,
Awesome.
thank you very much. And we're gonna take another break. I know you guys don't mind, I can keep going. How do you guys want to do it? I mean, we can finish early, so we don't have to use the whole, time. So if you just speed up a little bit, you might just finish early. Let's keep going until lunch break. Okay? That's good. Thank you, Albert.
All right. Yeah. Are we taking a break, or are you just going to switch off?
Yeah, okay, thank you. If you can give it to me, that would be even better. Okay, so let's go back, and I just checked, everything that you submitted, total, 15 data processing went through fine. So you guys all should see the process data. And it's kind of amazing that there is a 15 flight that has been submitted in less than an hour. Everything's been processed. So I think that is cool. And if you go back to your workspace, let's go to 20. Oh, you know what? Let me just not forget to start recording again. Okay, let's go back to 2025 WheatCAP. And the test project, this is the one that you just created. Now, looking at this card, it says that number 3 over here, this is the number of data product in that specific flight. If you click Manage Data, then you're going to see exactly in these 3 data products, DEM, which is essentially this elevation model generated from this raw data, orthomosaic is ortho, and point cloud is point cloud. And this was the one that I actually showed you in the demo project that I shared with you, and I just generate the exact same thing. Okay, so it says, can everybody see this data product available on your project? Okay, good. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to this training workshop folder over here. So we started from T3 introduction. We just finished it up. Data science. We created an account, created a demo project, download the raw data and boundary from here, and we actually did the data processing. Next one is we are going to generate the plot boundary. So going back to T3, just to give you an idea, just let's pull up the trial that you just created. So in this case, this is mine. If I just scroll down, field layout and tools, and you will see this information here. There is a total of 120 plots in this trial, and we have 10 in this direction and 12 in this and other direction. So I think that this is the part, it kind of becomes a little bit tricky because in the T3, their definition of row column is defined from bottom left, right? But the plugin that I'm going to show you to delineate the plot boundary, because I'm kind of engineers and I feel comfortable doing measurement from top left, not bottom left. So our origin for row and column definition is going to top left, while T3 is going to be bottom left. So there is going to be some things that we have to figure out, but you don't have to do it. I'm going to give you the Python code to take care of this one later, automatically. But just to be, for you to be aware, this T3 row and column is defined from bottom left here. Row goes increase as you go up, and column increase as you go to right. And the plugin that we're going to use you have to specify what is in the top left corner, and row will go increase as you go down, and column will increase, going to the right. So
This field is oriented,
Yeah.
the top left will actually be
Yeah.
plot 111.
yeah, so that's what we are going to be working on. So coming back here, let's say this is the images they are working on right now. And I think I'm going to need, Shannon, your help a little bit. But I ask you guys to install QGIS on your laptop. So everybody is in the QGIS. So let's pull this up. Starting a QGIS. Okay, so in QGIS, you can access, all the data on data to science directly without downloading any data. So this is a trick that I'm going to show you. So what you need to do here is click plugin. We're going to install 2 plugins. First one, click plugin and manage install plugin. For Windows, it might be a little bit different, but essentially, open up the plugin manager over here. So can everybody has this plugin window shows up on your computer? And you're going to click all, and you're going to search for a D2S, Data to Science. And you're going to see this D2S browser. And there is a newer version available, so I'm going to upgrade. If you don't have it, you can just click install. So I'm going to just click install over here. So make sure you have this Data to Science browser installed on your QGIS. Are you all good? Let me know if you still need time to install, because this is going to be super important. If you miss this part, then you're going to get behind and cannot catch up. So everybody good with this plugin? Next one that you're going to type in is a plot boundary. And you will see this 2 plugin. So the plot boundary plugin that you have to click install. In my case, I'm already have installed, so I'm not going to install. But make sure you have this Data to Science browser and plot boundary plugin installed. Are you good? Can I move to the next stage? Okay, looks good. So next thing that we're going to do is we need to open up this Data to Science browser, because we have also point cloud and the DEM already created in your project. And we are not opening up this, this project isn't only available to you at this moment, right? So what we're going to do is that we are going to actually stream that orthomosaic in Data to Science to QGIS without downloading it. So click plugin, then you're going to see, where is Data to Science browser? Oops. Well, do I have to restart? Let me just restart it, because I think I just installed it again. I mean, upgraded the plugin. For some reason, not showing up.
I updated mine and it still showed up there.
Yeah, so this is a D2S browser, available over here. Click this and browse D2S data. And I think that this newer version, we just type in this URL by default. So, before I have to type this in. But type in your email and password. I'm going to copy password and paste it. And after this, you just click login. Then this one is logging into D2S using the API that we had just have developed. And from here, you need to choose the project that you would like to work with, and choose the one that you just named this. So in my case, this is 2025 WheatCAP, where is it? Training workshop test. This is the one that I just created earlier for this specimens. I'm going to choose this one. Then there's only one flight. So if you have a multiple flight, you can choose in a specific flight as well. And why am I seeing multiple? Give me a second. 2025. WheatCAP test. Oops. Let me just choose. Do you guys also see this 4 or just 2?
I can't even get logged in.
Why?
I don't know. It says my password's wrong. But I've used all the usual.
Yeah. Yeah, now I'm seeing 2. So I don't know what has happened, but everybody just the login, choose the project that you just created, choose the flight, and essentially, in order for us to delineate the plot boundary, we need the ortho. So choose ortho, then click Add Selected to Map. Then this will add the ortho mosaic from D2S into this the screen automatically. So I'm going to give you in a few minutes. Just log into D2S from this plugin. Choose the project in flight and choose the data product also, and click Add Select to the map. Then there you have this ortho mosaic from D2S is loaded to your QGIS screen directly. Please raise your hand if you need any help. So everybody has this one loaded on your QGIS?
For some reason, I can't log in.
Do you remember your password?
I've done all my normal passwords, and I just cannot.
You're a lady. No.
I'm stuck.
Okay. You can reset your password if you go to the PS2.
Okay.
Go to click your name, go to profile, then change password. Then you just type in the new password twice. You have to change this one as well. I don't know what that is, but simply. Oh, current password. You only have this.
Well, yeah.
But
I
this is
don't
a
know.
current one.
Yeah, it filled it in, but
Yeah. Okay, everybody has this loaded. On this side looks good. Good. In the back? I think there's still one. Did it work?
I'm just checking now. Because we did this in January last year.
Looks like.
Or January of this year. No? What is your problem?
Oh, you have to create an API key.
I did.
No,
No.
go back to PS2. Revoke API key and request, yeah. And try it again.
Do I need to copy this?
No.
Okay.
Go back to QGIS. Go to plugin. Click login.
Yeah, that's my, yeah.
What is this?
Can you just restart this and try to log in again? Sometimes that helps. Shannon, for the sake of time, let me move forward. We'll be recording this. I'll work with you during the lunch to fix, to catch you up. So once you have this, ortho loaded, what we're going to do next is that we're going to, open up this in a plot boundary plugin. I think when I developed this, I put this plugin somewhere else where it is. It's a vector? Oh, yeah. I should have, put this on the plugin, menu, but somehow I just put this under, vector. But you can just, find it from, vector plot boundary in a general plot boundary tool and over here. You can just activate this and this also shows up in your what is that shortcut button bar, whatever it is called, is available from there as well. So from here, you need to choose what is going to be a background layer that we're going to use. We only have one, so it will be loaded automatically. And you have to choose output file, where where you want to save this to. Okay, so I'm going to click this three dot, and I'm going to save it to download folder here. This is 2025 WheatCAP training workshop plot boundary. I'm going to click save. You don't have to put this long, but I just put it there. Then if you look at this, they just generate the GeoJSON file. Because I don't like shape file because it's not standard for the first place. Plus, you just end up generating multiple, shape file, which is kind of difficult to handle. So GeoJSON is a lot easier to deal with.
Can you repeat this? How do you do this?
So just click this three dot over here, then just put go to the directory you want to save it to. Then just type in any name you want. So I can just say the plot boundary. Did you figure it out? Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. So click save, then you will see that the plot boundary.geojson file is set. So you just in a setting where you want to save this in a file to. Okay. Now you need to zoom in, and you need to click in the top left corner of the actual plot. And this is where Shannon and I need your help. So where is I think these two are the kind of some
Yeah, so
kind
those
of
are plots 1 and 2 of the trial behind it.
Okay.
So go to the right.
so this is bottom
That's
left.
120. Go up.
So this is bottom left, right? And you have, I believe, 12 in this direction.
Yeah.
So in the 10 above here. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is in the top left.
So those two green ones that stick out are Kharkov and Scout 66 or whatever the SRPN checks.
Yeah. So
For the Central Plains people.
So in your case, if this is your plot, you guys know where it's top left. You guys are spending time in the field. Probably you don't need to even count it. You have to click. Hey, this is in my top left. So I'm gonna put my finger on my screen so that I know. And you see that the get upper left corner. I'm gonna click this button, and you just click. Is this in the top left over here? Whatever the corner that we just decided, I'm going to click, and this will capture what is that upper left corner that I just clicked over here.
Or you can type that the coordinates by manual, but we recommend clicking some point on the images to get the exact location. So that's the point.
So once you have this in the top left corner clicked, you have this coordinate is entered. So does everybody has that coordinate entered by clicking top left corner?
It won't let me click.
You have to click get upper left corner button first, then you're going to click on the map. Yeah, I think I should have done some kind of more UI. So whenever I click this in the get upper left corner, this changes cross or something. And you have a better kind of sense of hey, I'm actually clicking top left corner, but I'm an engineer, not a designer, so I just focus on making it work.
So the select output file, what do I need to do for that?
Just click the three dot, and just you save the plot boundary.
Just call it plot boundary.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and click save. Yeah, replace it. Yeah.
Because you and I probably did this before.
Yeah.
But you need to pick the flag like
So again, we have a 10 in vertical direction. So this is in the bottom left, count 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you need to click this in the top left corner of the 10th in a plot. Okay? I mean, this is a passing, but this is not the real. It really doesn't matter which corner you pick. Just pick the corner. And this is in a GPS guided planted, so they are very well regularly spaced out. So it really doesn't matter which corner you pick in this case.
So you can do it, redo it anytime.
Yeah.
So don't worry about
Yeah.
don't be afraid to
Yeah.
try to pick the one. You will modify the location anytime later.
Yeah.
So
So once you have this one, you need to type in the the dimension of the plot. So Shannon, I need your help. What is the width?
I'm trying to pull that up.
Okay,
I think it's 3.14.
3.14 height.
Hang on, I'm trying to search it to get it exact because I know if it's not right, it's not.
But if this is your field again, you guys know this dimension, right? You know what? I can go back.
3.1 meters by 1.5 meters.
3.1 and 1.5. So 3.1 and 1.5 row spacing,
Um,
you know,
yeah, I just minimized it a little bit.
other way of doing it is,
1.8 meters.
okay, 0.08, 0.18, and column row spacing is in a vertical direction, and column spacing is
We had to play around with this to make it work.
I'm gonna just put 1. This is the point that that AJ was mentioning. You don't have to get this right. Once you just put in number, play with it. If you don't don't think it is right, trying to change this value and keep generating new result, and you will get it right. And the rotation angle from this top left corner, if you don't put angle 0, then the east, west, north, south. If you kind of rotate it slightly, you can put those in an angle over here. So I'm going to start with 0. So once you have this number, what you can do is click generate. And you will see that, I also have to type in how many rows and column here. For example, I only created 1, but I know that this is in a 10 row because we have 10 the lines over there and the 12 columns. Remember, we have the 120. So just type this in, click generate, then this is how it's going to look like. Definitely looks like width should be a little bit larger. Or I think that this should be,
column spacing.
yeah, column spacing. Let me put 1.5. Click generate. It's getting close, right? Probably this is a little bit too much.
I just get a Python error when I try to change anything.
Windows, I don't think you can save into the same file, so you have to.
Change it every time.
Yeah, so it is in a 1. It's just in a type 1, save it. 2 and save it. I think a Mac lets you override it, but the Windows for some reason does not let you override it. So let me you can just play with it to see how this that works out. And let's say 1.45, and probably I'm gonna do 0.7. I think that this one looks. I think it should be a little bit bigger for some reason. And so you can just play with this number to place them in approximate location.
That is, the window system.
Yeah.
How do we walk it horizontally over?
Or what do you mean?
How do you walk the boundaries horizontally over?
I don't think I understand that.
Column spacing.
Oh yeah, column spacing is in how much space in between the horizontal direction. Row spacing and how much spacing you have. And if you look at this carefully, let me just zoom in. You see that this is not exactly straight east-west line. So if I just move it, we need a little bit of rotation here, right? So looking at this top. No, I think, Shannon, I think height is now 1.5. It looks a little bit too tall.
Yeah. This is where I always delegated this to a student.
Yeah. And this one looks pretty good to me. Okay. Last one doesn't align for some reason. But, we don't have to do it super correctly, but you guys got an idea. You can use this in a plug-in to to place them in a kind of regular grid. If it is rotated, you can change this value. Let's not worry too much about getting this placing this super accurately. And later, if you have more time, we actually published a paper very recently where we can place this the plot boundary automatically using SAM plugin. I mean the segment anything model. I'm assuming that you guys don't have much program experience, so I'm going to point you to the GitHub repository where we publish the code. And if you want to, you can try this out, but I can also demonstrate actually how this works. All you need to do is specify boundary. You have 120 10 by 20, specify the number of rows and what's the width and size. Click a button, the AI will just place them automatically. And I will demonstrate this in pictures later. But don't try to place this one super accurately over the plot. Place them in approximately in the same location and we'll move forward. Because this is just training the workshop.
So adding one more comment is I have experience in this type of thing because I did it by manual before. So when you use these tools, when you use a larger number of the rows and columns, the end of the polygons in the last column, last rows should be located a little bit in the different locations.
Yeah.
So if you need it, you can do it. You can modify the location of those polygons in the last column, last rows by manual later.
Yeah.
So, but in this time, you don't need it to be super accurate.
Yeah. So, for example, let's say I'm going to just stay with this. I think what the AJ was talking about here is that you see this one doesn't match exactly, and you can always go into the edit mode, and I believe this is move features. So simply click this, and you can just move it around manually. Move this one by one if this is only the last row, something like this. And when you're done with this, click Save and exit out of the edit mode. And you can just do it this way. And especially if your field is not GPS guided planted, you do your best job to follow straight line, but sometimes you just slip and there is one kind of small twist over there. This may not work exactly as in a plan, but these can be used as a kind of place them in kind of approximate location. If you need a fine adjustment, you can always go into the edit mode, move those features around. At least you are just using the same size of the polygon to do the phenotypic calculation later in the stage. So everybody was able to generate this plot boundary approximately, okay? And if I just go into here and if I open up this in the attribute table, they will generate this in a row and column number, okay? And if I just zoom out, And this is going to be row number 1, row number 2, 3, and this is in a column number 1, 2, 3, and etc. That's how this is being assigned. And one thing that I also like to mention here is that you remember the GeoJSON, it is supposed to be the EPSG 4326, which is in latitude and longitude. But if you look at this EPSG code, if this GeoJSON file that we save, it is not in WJSON 84. This is in UTM still. So we are not following the standard, and this can be problematic later. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to save this GeoJSON file into WJSON 84 later. So to kind of prove you guys the case that if I open up this in text edit file here, you see all those coordinate here. This is not a longitude and latitude. This is in the order of thousands, right? So this is a UTM coordinate, not the longitude and latitude. So make sure you save this in WJS84. So the way how you can do this is right click this layer. There is an export menu, and you can click Save Feature As. So I'm gonna pause a little bit so that you guys can catch up. So right click on the layer they created, go to Export and Save Feature As. And once you do this, you need to choose what format you'd like to save this file into. I'm going to always choose GeoJSON here. Then give a file name. So I'm going to choose plot boundary, but I know that this is a WJS 84, so I'm going to give a name that's different than whatever we just created. And click Save. And here is one thing that you need to make sure your current CRS and coordinate reference system is set to UTM 13 North. This is whatever the coordinate system this AutoMosaic has. But you need to choose this into EPSG 4326, which is in a W84, which is in the longitude and latitude. So if you don't see this, I think you need to click this the Earth icon over here, select CRS, and simply you can just type in 4326. And this is WJS4. This is a coordinate frame that is used for the GPS, which is longitude and latitude. And if you already have chosen this one before, it will be already available from here. So make sure choosing EPSG 4326, which is WJS84. And otherwise, you're not saving into longitude and latitude. And click OK.
Well, hold on.
Oops, did I go too fast?
Yep.
Okay, let me just delete this. I'm gonna just repeat whatever it is. Export Save Feature As. I'm gonna choose GeoJSON. And I'm gonna choose the WJS84.
Okay, hold on. This is where I got lost.
Okay. And just give a different file name that you know what you're doing, and choose the CRS to be 4326 WJS84. So I'm going to pause here.
What if my AutoMosaic has a different coordinate system?
Then you just choose 4326. This 4326 is a global datum. So it really does. Yeah, I mean, this is a coordinate transformation. It is almost like you have the XY coordinate system. You have another XY. You just go back and forth without losing any information.
I'm asking because most of my stuff is I'm using like Opus to get the GPCs.
Yeah.
And then it's like NADV stuff.
Yeah.
Same Fox,
Yeah.
same polygon. I don't really understand all that stuff, so I wasn't sure if it.
So most of the modern software, they know how to do this in a coordinate transformation. I mean, I'm geomatics engineer. That's what we do. We define all those the data and coordinate systems. So if you're using GIS software to do this coordinate conversion, they'll take care of it. So you don't have to worry about, hey, do I coming from the UTM 13 North, WJS 84 datum? You can use an 83 datum. You can just add 27. There are so many datum out there. But as long as your file has that data information correctly embedded, you just say, hey, I want to save this into WGS84, then this software will take care of this conversion automatically. And for some reason, you have to go back to the actual datum that you're working on, you can do exactly the same. From this WGS84, you save it into UTM, then it works fine. Okay, so everybody,
I caught up.
okay, so then click OK, then the override file, then this will create a new plot boundary that has been created. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So everybody has this plot boundary created. Okay, so what we're going to do next is that we have about 40 minutes. So I'm going to move into the next stage of the workshop, which is we need to go to our WheatCAP the training workshop GitHub page. And let me just ask you, how many of you have done Python programming before? About half of the participants. If you have done any Python program, that's fine, because I'm not asking to write any code. This is essentially, I'm going to give you a code that you just simply click play button. Of course, I'm going to tell you where to change. And if you like to understand what is happening behind inside the code, I'll be more than happy to explain what it is. But at this workshop is mainly you guys are using that example code that I provide, and you just follow through. Okay. So what we will do here is that we can actually run your Python code on your laptop, but that one takes a lot of time to set up. And one of the additional perk that you guys are going to receive by having an account this data science ecosystem is that now you have a way to do the raw data processing, but we also provide a Jupyter Hub account that comes with your account as well. So we are going to actually log into Jupyter Hub on data science ecosystem. Open up the new tab. The URL is lab.d2s.org. So just simply type that in. And I'm already logged in, but it will ask you your ID and password, and you can use the same ID and password to log into PS2 instance. And you should be able to actually start a Jupyter notebook instance on your laptop. And good thing about this one is that this Jupyter notebook is running on Purdue Data Center, and all the data science data set is also stored in Purdue Data Center. So if you need to read actual the drone image on D2S, do the data processing in this Jupyter lab, their data transfer is going to be extremely fast. In a lot of cases, it is going to be much faster than your SSD on your local drive. So if you need to do any large data processing, this is an environment.
They cannot log into the Jupyter Hub.
You guys had added to the WheatCAP team? Let me see.
I was able to get in from when you and I worked on this summer.
So, what's your name? Swath. Do I see? Is this you?
Yep.
So you're a member, and you
But anyone cannot.
cannot log in?
Yeah, they are seeing some error message when they try to log in.
Sure, give me a second. I mean, again, this is not available to everybody. Well, let me enable this backup again. Can you try to log in again?
I logged in, never having done it before.
I think
Just to let you know that it's working in
this, I'm enabling this in a meta shape in a hobby extension to all the WheatCAP members. Probably when I enabled it, you guys are not a member, then probably this, is not, retroactively, enabling all the account that has been added after I activated. So, can you try to log in again? It works? Nope. Same problem. How about you? Nope. let me just enable your you were using it manually. So you said what's your SWOT? SW.
Yes.
So this is you, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna give you the meta shape as well. Can you just refresh the page? It works?
Yep.
Okay. Next, whoever. Let's start from here. MEI. Okay, this is one, right? Mailing. Next. Timo. Which one? Second one? Next. I will just go from there first. Yeah. This is you, right? Next. J A. J. Sorry. Okay, this is you. Okay. Next. This is you. And up to, this is you, right? First one. Emily, the first one. AD. Okay. MAN. Can you speak up a little bit? Last one. Sing. And last one. CS. The last one. And I think I should be able to log in. Good? Okay. What I'm going to do next is that you can manually download them, but a lot better way of doing it is you can just clone this in a GitHub repo to this Jupyter notebook. So what you're going to do is that you're going to open up the terminal. So I'm going to open up this terminal here. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to our GitHub page and going back to the the official, what is that? The main, the repo here. And from here, I'm going to click this in a green icon. And this gives you, the URL to clone this repository to, whatever computer you got. I'm going to choose HTTPS. Okay. Then I'm going to copy this URL to the clipboard. So copy. Then I'm going to back to this code here. I'm going to type in git clone. Then simply paste that link. Control V. And type enter. Then this will clone that GitHub repository to your JupyterLab account. And you should see that this WheatCAP folder created under your JupyterLab. So does everybody has this WheatCAP project cloned? Good. So once you have this, I'm going to go into this WheatCAP. And you see exactly the same kind of structure has been cloned over here. And I'm going to have this 2025 training workshop. And here you have all the file that is necessary for you to follow this the rest of the steps that we're going to go through. So from here, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to open up this tutorial UAS High Throughput Phenotyping on D2S Jupyter Notebook. I'm going to double click. And this will open up a Jupyter notebook on the right side. And once I'm done with this, I'm going to click this icon again so that I have a full screen of Jupyter notebook code available. So I just want to make sure that everybody is up to this point.
Did you copy this? Not yet.
So were you able to open up this Jupyter notebook, this 4? Good? In the back? Okay. I think it's going to get some help. And you will see this is the code that we're going to go through. And there is a lot of line that we have to go through. But like I said, you don't have to understand all the code. But essentially, we're going to actually go through one by one. And in Jupyter Notebook, we're going to say that each kind of box that we see is, we call the cell. And this cell can be code cell or, markdown cell. And I don't have to explain all the details about it, but essentially, whenever you see this, the cell with kind of numbers in it, this is the part that contains a Python code where we can actually run it. So, first cell that you see, there is a bunch of import command there, and we are loading the required modules, libraries, the first. So, what we're going to do here is, let's say I like to run this in a specific cell. So if I just click inside, you can go inside and change the code as needed. So I can add a new line, I can delete the line, and etc. And if you like to run this in a specific cell that you just worked on, there is a plus play button at the top. And you simply click this play button, and this will run the code. And you see number 1. It means that this cell was run for the first time. I mean, this is the cell was run for the first time. And if I just click this one again, click play again, you see that this is change number 2. Even though I just ran it twice, I actually run this one before. So looking at this number, you can track that, hey, which cell was run before the other cell, etc. But we're going to following this follow from the top down, and we will just go through. So this first one is we are essentially loading a lot of modules that we need to use. So that's the first thing. We are defining a couple of functions that we're going to use. So like I said, you don't need to understand what it is, but essentially returning unit, paginate data. These are some of the functions that we wrote so that we can pull the information from T3 into this Jupyter notebook. So simply choose this cell, click run, and make sure that this number is the one greater than the one that you ran before. Okay. Now we are going to be getting T3 information inside this Jupyter notebook. So first we need to set up the base URL, since we are working on this sandbox. Okay. So I'm going to be using this the sandbox the URL that you guys use to create your trial in T3. If you're working on a WheatCAP, we have another URL at the bottom. So this is the one that you have to use. But in this training and workshop, we're going to use a sandbox. So I need to choose this one and click run. So you just loaded this in a URL. So make sure you are running this cell as I'm running. If you don't run it, and next time you run it, some of the variable is not defined, that you're going to have an error. Some issues over there? Which one? Which, are you trying to download something? We are not downloading anything yet. Did you use a HTTPS URL or SSH? It's a public one. It's a public repo. No, you don't have to type. You can just.
No, he's looking for the GitHub.
Yeah.
URL.
Oh, GitHub repo URL. Okay, sorry. The GitHub repo URL is given here. GitHub.com gdslab/WheatCAP. So give me a second. I think I just want to make sure that everybody can follow up. So. Yep.
There you go.
Yep. And the information that you will need is that let's go back to T3 over here. Okay. So this we all created your own trial, using the following the instruction from Jean-Luc. In my case, my trial ID is 10.224. Your trial ID will be different. So make sure you get your own trial ID that you created. It should not be the same as mine. It should be a different number. So in my case, 10.224, yours will be different. You got that number? And going back to your code, then now we are going to run this code. If you look at the first line here, it is asking what is your trial ID separated by comma. So if you have multiple trial, you can just provide what is trial ID, comma, next one, etc. But in this case, we're only working with one. And essentially what we do is that we just get this trial ID number, convert it into an integer, and the saved T3 layout information will be saved into the output folder and using some of the function that we defined. So don't need to understand the code, but essentially I'm going to choose this cell, run, and it says that enter trial ID separated by comma. In my case, it's a 10.224. Just type in whatever the trial ID that you created using your name. You're going to type in that trial ID. Everybody good? And type enter. Now we are sending a request to T3 sandbox. You're going to see this the percentage over here. Mine changed from 0 to 100%. Now download and save complete trial ID for 10.224. So you all have to see this in a success message at the end. All good? And what I'm going to do next, please let me know if I'm going too fast. Listen, it is very important to follow every step because this is going to be the information needed to do it in the next step. So I'm going to just show you. So once this one is successfully run, you're going to see the output folder created. Double click, and you see the trial 10.224. You're going to see that the trial created over there. Now you will see two CS files downloaded. The plot info. If you click here, it will give the what is that? Is it a session name or a session name? What is a plot ID? This is very important. This is the unique ID in T3 database, and essentially we are going to use this plot ID information to push into the T3 database later. What is a study DB ID, study name, and a column and row number, and plot number, and etc. So this is essentially information that was pulled from the T3 database based on your trial ID that provided. And it also gives you this trial layout. Remember your row and column start from the bottom left. So this is a column direction. This is in a row direction. Don't worry about this 1 to 12. This is the Jupyter notebook. They just automatically add this 1 to 12 based on whatever the row and column number is starting from the top. But you should be able to see these two files downloaded once this cell that we just ran was run successfully. Okay. Sure. Give me a second. So what kind of error messages that you're getting?
So it has the API-based URL is not defined.
So can you go scroll up? So you haven't ran that. Scroll down.
Okay.
Scroll down. You have to run this part.
Oh yeah, this. Oh.
Yeah, you have to run this cell. Yeah, run, then run the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the trap. Yeah,
Yeah.
this one. Again.
Yeah.
Yes, because that area was not defined.
enter.
Enter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's working then. Yeah. So everybody downloaded this field layout information, okay? Good? Okay. So we have about 20 minutes, so let's see how far we can go. Oh, I think there is one more. Let me just make sure that he is up to the point.
No, that's fine.
Okay, so once you do this in the plot boundary delineation, we already have done this. So you already have delineated plot boundary file on your drive, right? And you will have to upload that the plot boundary file to this folder, because this is the location where you have Jupyter Notebook. So go to the directory where you created a plot boundary, and the one that you save into a WGS84. Remember, we just did a plot boundary, JSON file, but it's not in WGS4. We said export the feature as WGS84. I'm going to click, drag and drop back to this, the folder over here. Simply drag and drop and let it go, and this will upload that GeoJSON file to your directory. Now you see that the plot boundary WGS84.geojson file is available there. And what I did was simply drag and drop the plot boundary that you save into WGS84 into this folder that you're working on. You're good? And looks like you're still working on it? Working good? Can I move on? Okay. So plot boundary part is done. Now, this is an important part. Plot boundary file only has a row and column number, but it doesn't have a plot ID. Like I said earlier, plot ID is a unique ID in T3 database. So whenever you like to calculate any phenotypic information, you like to push that information back to T3 database, they need to know what is a plot ID. You don't say that, hey, in this trial, row 1, column 3, you don't push information that way. That push is solely based on the plot ID, so you need to have that information. So what we're trying to do here is that our plot boundary has all those geometry already laid out. We need to extract corresponding plot ID from T3 layout that we downloaded, merge that information into our plot boundary. So that's the process that we like to do. And I'm not gonna go through the code, but essentially, first we need to load what is in the plot boundary the file here, merge in the plot boundary, PBE boundary attribute with T3 data. So this in the first part here is loading up that plot boundary file. So I'm gonna change this into whatever the one that you just unloaded here. So this is plot underscore boundary underscore WGS84 GeoJSON. You may have a different file name, but to make sure that whatever the file name that you use to save, goes into this part here. Okay. Once you're done with this, then I can click Run the Cell, And then there is some problem with this. Ooh, well, you know what? I think I know what is happening. There is a certain additional step that we need to do. So let me take it back. So let's go back to our D2S, because I think every code that I'm showing you is based on the GeoJSON file you download from D2S. And I think when this D2S saved this the file, I think there is different types polygon. We're expecting the simple polygon, but QGIS saved it as the multi-polygon. I think that's where it is kind of complaining. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to upload that GeoJSON file that we just uploaded to the Data to Science platform, and I'm going to re-download it because they'll take care of it automatically. So let's go back to our project that we are working on. So let's go to the project and click this in the test project that we created earlier. Okay. I'm going to click this. Then I'm going to, there is a flight tab. This is the menu to manage all the different flight. There is another menu called the map layer. This is a place where you can upload a vector layer. So I'm going to click this in a map layer button. From here, you can upload a new map layer. So I'm going to click this in a map layer over here. And simply, you can drag and drop GeoJSON file. Again, it says that this should be in WGS84 datum. So you can drag and drop, or click Browse. And I'm going to choose plot boundary WGS84 GeoJSON file. So I'm going to click Open. And I'm going to click Upload, and this GeoJSON file will be uploaded to our project. So can I click Upload button? So I click Upload. So the success, your map layer will be added once that's been processed. So it will not show up right away, because the way how we do is that when this one is uploaded, we just store all those plot bound vector layers as a separate record into the database. So there are certain procedures happening behind it. So it will become available soon. So probably the way that you can check here is in going back to flight, going back to a map layer. Sometimes, depending on how many requests going on now, it becomes available over here. Okay. And the one thing that we can do it here is probably let's talk about linking this with T3 database, because now we have actual orthomosaic images, and we also have plot boundary loaded over here. So let's say, how can we link this project with a T3 database? In order for you to do this, you have to enable additional module.
I uploaded it, it said it was successful, but it's not showing.
Yeah, it takes some time.
Okay.
Yeah, so give it a few minutes. You may have to refresh the page and come back to this in a map layer. Just want to make sure that everybody has this plot boundary uploaded correctly. Good? 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 You're good? Good? I think one more.
I did it twice, I guess.
You did it twice?
Yeah, I got it in there twice.
You can delete the one that you done did. Yeah. And in the meantime, what you can do is let's go to the flight and go to manage data, open up the ortho. Now you see that map layer has a number 1 showing on the left. And I'm going to load the ortho imagery. Coming back here. Load it up here. Go to the map layer. Enable this in a plot boundary. Then you're going to see that actual vector layer is available from this in the menu. And you can change the transparency to see that how well this plot boundary aligns with actual orthomosaic layer. But if you did a good job in QGIS, they're using the same data source, so you should match. Yeah.
It looks like for both of ours, it like landed us in Australia or something.
Yeah, because I think when you export the plot boundary files, you didn't choose right coordinate.
Oh, it's not that WS84.
So I think you just.
Yeah. So maybe. Yeah.
Can you show?
Sure. Okay. Let me show you the processing again. Going back to QGIS. And, yeah, try it again. Sometimes you thought they did, but it's probably you just clicked wrong. So
Yeah, it's this one, right?
yeah,
Okay.
don't override it.
Can you go back to
Let me just make sure.
So this is my GeoJSON file.
Can you open with the text editor?
Yeah.
Property information.
Yeah.
So this is the correct one.
Yeah, this is the one that I
Yeah.
uploaded, and it's not showing up.
Yeah.
This is the one that I just saved.
Australia.
So this is the one you
So
saved in
here,
WS84, right?
QGIS is
And
where-
go to workspace. Can you go to
Oh,
the?
maybe I uploaded it wrong.
Probably you uploaded the wrong one then. Yeah. Try to upload. Delete that one. Try to upload the new one then. You have to figure it out.
I thought it was here.
This is a pretty clear indication you uploaded the wrong file then. Yeah. I know that you guys have been working very hard this morning. I know that we've been working 2 hours straight, but lunch is almost here. So let's give a few minutes and let's link this T2S project with T3 and let's take a break. And in the afternoon, we will come back and finish up the rest of the process. Shannon, this lunch will be here or we go somewhere?
Bring out some boxed lunches.
Okay.
So they're supposed to be at noon. When's a good stopping point?
About 10 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that'll work good.
Yeah.
How much longer after lunch do you think we'll go?
Depending on how fast I can go.
No, it's no pressure. We have all day.
Yeah.
We're reserved all day.
Yeah. I know that two who have been an issue. I will walk you guys in a separately, but for those who are waiting, let's go to this. We already showed this, but let's link this project with in the T3. So make sure you enter your API key in your trial. And coming back to your project here, let me just open up the project. WheatCAP trial. And there is a button that says Manage Module. So if you click this, you have flight and map layer module is enabled by default.
Is everybody able to follow at the moment? Yeah. Otherwise,
Yeah, I think everybody is okay, except those two who are, yeah, got it.
How am I getting to project modules?
So coming back to the project page, there is a button that says Manage Module. Manage Module.
So this you started from workspace, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So go to workspace. So for some reason, you don't get to this page from the home page. You get to this page from the workspace.
Yeah, you have to work in the workspace. Home page is mainly for you to see the data. Workspace is whenever you're working on the actual creation of project, create a flight, manipulate the data. That's the place that you need to be. Generally, you're here?
Yeah.
Workspace?
I went to the next step.
Okay. So go to the Manage module. And there is, you see at the bottom, there is a breed-based module. You have to click to enable it. Okay? Because not all project here in data science is breed-based related. There are a lot of other projects that has nothing to do with the breed-based. But we first have to enable this module. Then you go back to your project page. Then you will see this in a breed-based in a menu will show up right next to map layer. You're going to click this. And you have to provide the base URL. Now we are linking this with a sandbox. So going back to our, the menu here, remember that base URL that we got, this sandbox one. I'm going to copy this one. Okay. Did you copy this? Then coming back, paste that base URL over here. If this is in a WheatCAP project, you're going to copy the WheatCAP base URL. This is in a sandbox in a base URL.
I think you need to put the /brappy/v2 part in also.
Do I have to?
Maybe not. I don't know. I thought you did. But.
No, I don't think we need to. This is in a base URL. This doesn't need it. I may be wrong. You know what? Let me check.
I mean, go ahead and run it, and if it doesn't work, then because I know it works when the /brappy/v2 is in there, but.
So study DB ID is same as a trial ID, or?
No, the DB ID is the 10224 in your case.
Okay,
So
10.
No. That needs to go into the study DB ID
Okay.
on the left-hand side there.
Okay. So type in 10224. Click search study. Yeah, I think I need the additional. What is that?
So it just says Brappy /v2.
V2. So we need to add a slash Brappy.
Before we get everybody to do that, go ahead and try again. Make sure that.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
it shows up.
Genius.
Yeah.
So the base URL is just if you are on a web browser and you go to wheatsandbox.trinitytoolbox.org, and then when you want API requests to the Trinity Toolbox, it needs to go to this Brappy /v2. V2 is the second version of Brappy.
So everybody able to come to this part? Looks like you're lost.
Yeah, I'm a little behind, I guess.
So yeah, /Brappy /v2. V2. Yeah. Then search.
You have to go back to the
Yep. Got it?
Okay.
So after almost.
Sorry, I'm back at this.
Okay.
Is it this?
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Oh, this one.
No, the
Oh, the-
test. Yeah, this one.
Okay,
Not the.
not
key,
that
yeah,
one.
this one.
Okay.
And you have to. This is same names, right?
Let's go to the flight and
Yeah, we
Oh, yeah.
uploaded.
Oh.
Let's say
and
no.
then just run the disk.
wait until this load up.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Not yet.
Not quite yet.
Yeah. It takes
It takes a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So does everybody up to this part? You have some problem?
So I copied the path from over here to the.
Yeah,
this one.
that doesn't work because if you copy the path, somehow they mess up. So you're in the current directory, so simply do this. Oh yeah, we have to re-download this again. So we are not there yet. Yeah, we're just working on. So once everybody has it up to this part, all you need is click Add. And that's it. You see that the base URL, study ID, and study name session, they are linked right now. If you like to remove this link, you can click in the X button later. Now you go back to your T3, then simply refresh this page. Then now you're going to see that actually the project from D2S in a link to this one here as well. So if you click this, you'll go to the project page. And let's go to the field layout tools and phenotyping heat map. Expand this out. Then give a few seconds till it's loaded up. And you can choose this to be a geofield layout. Choose that one. And give a few minutes until this one loads the data here. I think there's a lot of error messages. Probably, I think this one doesn't have a plot ID added to yet, but we'll fix it later. But you get an idea that hey, I'm gonna add ortho to it.
Okay, I'm not here.
Then you see that actual images being streamed to this T3 from D2S platform. So don't worry about this error message yet. I think we'll fix it later. So I think this is going to be the morning session, up to this part, and we'll come back after lunch break. And I think we only went to like 1/5 of the Jupyter notebook. There's a lot of things that we need to cover, but we have a 4 hour in the afternoon, so we'll finish that up after the break.